Hello and welcome to Thursday Debate with Tagreed Hussein here on Nile TV International. Tonight, a very special guest and a very special topic. We're talking digital transformation. His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi had said that Egypt's digitalization potentials are very strong as the state mainly aims to bolster this field, adding that Egypt possesses a great market, especially in the field of digital transformation, which is full of opportunities. The head of state said that we are moving as a state towards the digitalization field as it stands for the present and the future. It would help the state actually attain the success that we aspire. And also, when it comes to governance, it's going to help reduce the human intervention in the government work and also at the same time fighting corruption. So tonight we are talking about this digital transformation, and we're really honored to have with us to speak on this topic Dr. Nezar Sami. He's an innovation and entrepreneurship consultant. Dr. Nezar, thank you so much for coming to Nile TV.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nezar. We'll be discussing this together, and we'll be starting off with the ICT that has been inaugurated by the President, and usually those are actually such congresses, such conferences are a great reflection of how Egypt today has become a hub for digitalization and innovation.
Yes, perfect. This is very much true. When we see the landscape of what's going on for the last 12 months, and you see how Egypt is progressing in the area of digital transformation and all of the support from His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and he mentioned this one of those youth conferences that we missed the first and second and third industrial revolution, and now it's time for the fourth one, which is more about focusing on digitalization and digital transformation. That was actually the real signal for everybody in the country to move in that direction forward. We see this in multiple activities. We started from the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology and Digital Egypt platform that have been integrated last July, as well as the focus of the multinational companies. They are already focusing on Egypt with all a great potential. We see the new administrative capital right now is like a model for the smart capital and smart cities, and they are deploying a lot of application in that. And as you just mentioned about the Cairo ICT, and it is like the 24th round for this year, and with a specialization on smart intelligent transportation systems. You know that the core of any building, any culture is about communication and transportation. That's therefore we saw a lot of initiative coming from about the smart transportation systems and
Digital Egypt initiative.
Yes, exactly, Digital Egypt initiative, and we saw the application, and you see a lot of activities that they can run on the same time that will reduce the time, it will increase the efficiency and productivity, and of course it will minimize the corruption as much as we can. In this direction, this will put Egypt on like the more competitive in the market. We saw that in the Ease of Doing Business report and the Global Competitiveness Index as well. Egypt have been moving forward steps and steps, which is a right signal for everybody just to focus on that we are on the right direction, having a national vision right now, which is Vision 2030, that is based on economical development, innovation, and knowledge, which is what we call the knowledge economy. All these are streamlined together. We saw a lot of initiatives coming from different ministries in that direction. This is like a very good symptoms that we are in the right direction.
Yes, we are in the right direction, and also what was quite inspiring as His Excellency was inspecting the different booth at the ICT was how we are today actually applying this sense of innovation to serve also people with disabilities. And this also has been definitely a plus.
Yes, of course. When you talk about the Vision 2030, it's all about inclusive
Yeah,
Okay? When
inclusiveness,
we
yes.
talk about digital transformation, again, it is an inclusive environment for everybody. And we saw a couple of years ago that his President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, with a very focus on people with disabilities,
Yes.
and there is a presidential initiative about that under the auspices of the Ministry of Information Communication Technology, with the National Academy for Disabilities and Technology in that. This is a great potential, great emphasis in that. We are seeking entrepreneurs, innovators, anybody who can support this a very good chunk, not just only in Egypt, but in the world. Because if people with disabilities are the same in each and every country, if you can give the numbers, for instance, it's a world indicators, like 10% of the world, they are facing some sort of disabilities. So this is a great opportunity to develop some sort of technology, and then we can put Egypt back to the technology map in the world. We have a lot of cases, we have a lot of technical, very good calibers that they can develop solutions, and we have the demand, which is the most important part. Just we need to hook them together, and we saw a couple of startups coming in to serve this area.
Yes, since we're mentioning startups, it was also quite inspiring how Egypt is supporting startups and the young in order to start those projects, supporting them all the way.
Yeah, let me give you some example in
Sure.
that. Supporting startups and entrepreneurs, it's like 30 years ago. But the movement have been since 2016 and right now, in terms of numbers, for the last 10 years, the number of startups coming into the market successfully and seeking investment, more than 400 startup companies. If you can count that those startups created jobs, which is a very important number. Amazingly and surprisingly, those 400 startups companies, they already put some sort of investment exceeded 3 billion Egyptian pounds.
Excellent.
And that was in the last 3 years, only in the last 3 years, since 2017, which is a very great signal for
Yes.
everybody in the world that startups, the innovation ecosystem and the entrepreneurship ecosystem is extremely supported. We saw a lot of programs. For instance, when we talk about the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development,
Yes.
With the vision of 2030, we have a program called Ruwad 2030.
And
which
we are
is
congratulating Her Excellency, Minister Dr. Hala
Hala
Said,
Said,
for
yeah.
being chosen as one of the best, actually,
best, yes,
minister,
minister.
In the Arab world. She is an icon for women empowerment, definitely, and for professionalism.
Yes, exactly. Congratulations, Her Excellency, Dr. Hala Said. In that direction, we see that we have like indicators. We see the round of investments put in those 400 companies. Egypt right now ranked #1 in the MENA region about receiving the amount of foreign investment in those startups, with a percentage of 25% of all the money coming from investors, venture capitals, and angel investors to startups have been went through the Egyptian companies, which is again a very remarkable signal. A couple of days ago, I was attending the Egypt Entrepreneurship Summit,
Yes.
and I met one of those venture capital coming from America, from the US, and he told me that we are coming to invest in startups in Egypt. Wow. I asked
What sort of incentives did he speak about?
Yeah, I asked him a question, just one question. Why did you try to come to Egypt and see? You have Silicon Valley, you have a lot of things in other countries. He said, no, we have been observing the country for the last period. And we saw the government initiatives, the number of incubators, the quality of startups coming in. So we as a venture capital, we are seeking high quality technology-based startups doing that, and you couldn't find something better than Egypt in this. And we can put, he said, like, I'll give you the number, he got $2 to $3 billion to invest in those companies. I was so happy when I heard that this is a VC, venture capital. He was one, when he told me his expertise and background, he's coming from technology background. He worked with multinational, big names in the market, you can send. So when this guy, he is focusing on technology, not only just the business, and see that the Egyptian candidates and the Egyptian startups are really good, this is a great sign for Egypt. And we announced that in the in the summit as well. That is one of those motivators. So number of incubators, number of initiatives, even though I tell you something that the development on human capital, we saw the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology,
Yes.
they have a lot of programs to develop technical people from schools level even to the master's degrees.
Yes, preparing the country for this sense of digital transformation, and we can see here the directives of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi increasing the use of artificial intelligence. The President gave directives and also intelligence technologies in the state's construction and also in urban planning projects.
Yes, technology right now is a tool to move to the next generation. We are talking about the industry X.0, not 4.0, because the industry is rapidly changing day by day. Every day you have something new. And in that direction, we have focusing on artificial intelligence, because this is the future. By the way, artificial intelligence as a science by itself, it's from the 60s. So
Yes.
it is not, but about the application, the capability, and the adoption, how we can develop solutions to adopt it to the use.
To make a better quality of life.
Absolutely correct.
That we can feel it
Yes.
in our daily lives.
Exactly. Cybersecurity is one of the most important things.
In farming and also in education.
Yes, exactly. We cannot neglect all these things together, and we can mix them in smart buildings, where we can see the administrative capital right now. They have been sensors, and they use the type of technology, different technologies in different buildings. So having urban planning, having like smart transportation systems, even
smart education. The President
education,
inaugurated smart universities.
Yes.
And that has been really a hit.
Yeah, and the beauty of this is the disciplines and the specialization of those universities is extremely new to the market, even in the region by itself. They picked something like digital arts. So how about, we can think about, it is inclusive. They can put Egypt on the international industries, international level, international map, and it creates jobs with high revenues and high return. This is the most important part. We create jobs that we're building on the international citizenship. Of course, I'm sitting in Egypt in my room. I can do some sort of programs, but my client is in somewhere in the Far East, per se, or in the Western environment. So we are exposed to the world. We have the infrastructure, we have the minds, we have the capabilities. Then everything is ready, so let's move forward in that direction.
Yes, let's move forward in that direction, and we'll move also through the sense of innovation and with the youth hands-on, because as we can see how Egypt is focusing today and how the President is focusing on the human capital, the human potential. That's why we are preparing youth for leadership, and at the same time they are acquiring and they are being prepared according to the latest technological equipment and standards.
Yes, let me do a flashback like 3-4 years ago. His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, in his talk in the United Nations back to 2016, he mentioned the role of technology and peace development. Yes. So he's one of the great believers in the role of technology, and he's one of the great believers in the youth. Like Egypt, where now more than 60% of the population is in the age of the 45, yes, which is, we are a very young nation. In that direction, there are a lot of programs and initiatives. Some of them are presidential initiatives, like the Presidential Leadership Program, and the executive level as well. After the success of the PLP, there is the executive PLP program as well, where we are.
And the African.
And the African
has been also, they have been doing great, and we've actually having all the honor to interview examples of the African grads.
Yes,
yes.
We
were very proud.
Of course,
of this program.
Egypt is part of Africa. We are the one continent. In that direction, a great potential put in the development in youth on different levels, even in the universities. We can see like innovation hubs and entrepreneurship clubs in the university. And thanks to Academy of Scientific Research and Technology, they have right now more than 35 entrepreneurship clubs in the university. We have technology and innovation transfer offices, where we can put all these type of scientific research into market, in the product that will be available to the market, and the use of all the Egyptians and even everybody out there. So the belief in innovation is extremely important. And we saw that from the Vision 2030 back to 2016, when, 2015, actually, when they launched the Egypt Vision 2030. It's based on innovation. It's part number one. We see the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology. They have like 7 hubs all over Egypt to support innovation. We see that in the number of incubators. So the innovation is the key right now to move to the next generation of everything, as well as to implement ideas in digital transformation.
Yes, implementing ideas of in digital transformation, and at the same time moving forward. What does it take to make the people aware of the importance of this sense of digital transformation? How can we make the whole society hands-on?
If you asked me this question a year ago, maybe I couldn't find the answer, because it was about awareness. But thanks to COVID-19, that it enabled us to use the technology. I give you
very meaningful.
Yes, I give you one of those statistics coming from one of those one of the mega credit card companies in the world. They said that the Egyptian society developed 72% of the digital transformation in using credit card systems. 55% increase in fashion and purchasing of outfits and wares. 52% in healthcare. They give numbers that are really very promising. So it's all about user experience, simplicity, building trust, and there is a need. As long as there is a need, then people will move forward. It's all about awareness. So people, they tasted the flavor of using technology.
Yes.
It is something benefit. And with the nice move of the Digital Egypt program, and you can see that you can get your...
Making our lives easier.
Yes,
definitely.
Driving license, whatever of those services available on the Digital Egypt, it will make life easy, so people will move. It's all about, we call it like technology diffusion time. So it takes time. The role of media is extremely important to raise the awareness about that.
Yes.
And one of the good things that I like to highlight with your program, if we go to the presidency.eg website, you can see an icon which is about share your idea.
Yeah.
This is something new. If you'd like to build the nation and to be one of the contributors of building the nation, come up with an idea, and this idea will be studied and yes, exactly,
thoroughly.
And if it is really good, they can implement. So right now, it's all about awareness. It's all about asking service provider to increase the demand. We saw, for instance, one of those important sectors, which is the healthcare sector, education, and banking and finance sector.
Yeah.
We saw the financial technology programs, and we saw the Central Bank of Egypt putting a lot of emphasis and support for people to do what we call financial inclusion.
Yes.
Banks are started to move forward with mobile apps. We saw one of the national banks right now in Egypt, they started to build their own digital bank, so you don't have to go to the bank and sign all these things. You just download the app and then get your ID scanned to the system. Within 48 hours, you will have your account on. All these moves and all these initiatives are really very good to include everybody in the society, to avail financial products for marginalized or underserved or underprivileged people. This is the most important part to ensure the deployment of the technology. Again, we're asking service providers to come up with digital solutions that are easy to be implemented. This is the key when we go for a digital transformation.
Yes. What does it take to enhance the digital capabilities, or let me say the digital skills of our human resources? It's very important so that they will be able to cope up with this sense of transformation.
Yeah, this is a great question. Thank you. Let me thank you for this question. We are now preparing for the digital leaders. Okay. The World Economic Forum.
Let us tell our audience more about what do we mean by digital leaders.
Okay. Digital leaders, it means that in order to lead the future, you have to have the digital skills.
Yes.
So the World Economic Forum came up with a report that's setting that there will be 133 million jobs introduced in the next coming 5 years. Okay, even extended to the 10 years. If we scan all these type of jobs, we will see that they are all depending on the use of technology. We have a machine and we have the people. So if the machine can do anything that people do,
can the machine do everything that people can do?
definitely no. Definitely no.
Yes.
Yeah. But
this is satisfactory so far.
yeah, of course. But the ordinary tasks will be replaced by the machine. Let's face fact.
Exactly.
So everybody should think about how I'm going to upgrade my skills. And thanks, the government stated a lot of programs for this site. Again, I will call back Ministry of Information and Communication Technology. They have the Next Technology Leaders Initiative. It's a free training courses online to be equipped with all the digital skills you need.
Yes.
Okay? So what I need to do right now, that each and every learner, educator, should think about the future jobs and how the future jobs will be mixed with the role of technology in that. Okay, so if I am, for instance, in the media, I can see what is the role of artificial intelligence in doing my normal
Yes. Are
job.
we going to have robots as anchors in the future?
We can do this. It's a bit luxurious, but we can see something more important in for instance, like having like rumors and fake news. We can use those type of artificial intelligence tools to come up with the reality and the facts and to
in the field of cybersecurity.
Yes, of course. So this is the way that each and every person need to think about how to include the technology in her or his job in the future.
Yes, digital transformation and the huge mega projects that Egypt is witnessing, and sustainability. Let me say, digital transformation and sustainability, the correlation.
Yes. Sustainability is the key. When we build systems, we need to make it sustainable, we need to make it functioning with continuous improvement.
Yeah.
In this direction, we can see that when we started to build from the infrastructure part, let's give an example for our audience to know the amount of investment and effort have been developed or been introduced in this area. For instance, to give you with numbers and examples just to feel, right now we have like 30,000 government buildings. All these buildings are going to be connected with a fiber optical network. Okay, right now I think we reach like 7,000 of them have been connected. This will take like 3-4 years from now. Okay, to be completed. The number of amount of money invested in this exceeded like 12 billion Egyptian pounds in this direction. So it's not just the easy task. It's not just putting a computer in a place or a scanner or a printer. This is, I'm digitally transformed. No, it is about infrastructure. It is about business modeling. It's about business processes. We need to change the business processes as well. And we need the most important part, which is the employees themselves. We need to upscale their capabilities, to upgrade them, to be able to deal with the new systems. And as you know, that the government is the largest employer in the country. So we have a great potential for government officials and employees to be equipped with the technology for the future. And the last but not least, all of these three elements are serving the Egyptian people.
Yes.
So the citizens are on the top of everything, that we have to, the well-being, you have to give them
We're
comfort.
digitizing the country's services
Exactly.
as a whole, for the country as a
Yes.
whole.
Therefore, building the infrastructure, upscaling to the top of the pyramid, which is the Egyptian citizens coming on the top of the pyramid, it is sustainable. It means we have continuous improvement. We have like day-to-day operations, maintaining security, confidentiality, and all these things. This also have been supported by a national and legal framework and policies coming from the policymakers to support this system to be continued and to be like it's a living body. It's not just I'm setting cables and that's it. No, it is a way to create more jobs. So it is about part of the sustainability, creating jobs, then we can make money, jobs of the future, as well as doing business in a right position. So this is the link between digital transformation and sustainability. Again, to highlight for the sustainability from a sustainability perspective, because I can understand that our distinguished audience, they will understand about, they talk about sustainability in 3 dimensions. We have the economic sustainability, we have the societal or social sustainability, and we have the environmental sustainability. So all these things have been included that we call them the triple bottom line. We call in the digital transformation process when we are building any new system in that. So economically, from social perspective, and from the environment as well.
As we can see from all dimensions, in order to reach the Digital Egypt, and the Digital Egypt initiative, a very important initiative under the leadership of the president, and it is definitely directed to contribute to the country's efforts in digital transformation as a whole. The president gave directives to the government in order to increase the use of artificial intelligence and technologies in the state's construction and also in the field of urban planning projects. Let's watch this report. We'll be back.